Have you ever heard about the term biofortification? Welcome to your own channel ADP for Learning. I am your own learning partner Aashish. Fortification means adding micronutrients to food during processing. For example, calcium and vitamin D are often added to orange juice, or folic acid to rice and pasta. Biofortification is similar, but the goal is to grow crops that start with more nutrients, rather than adding them later. According to the Harvest Plus initiative, as of 2023, biofortified crops are grown and eaten by an estimated 30 million people worldwide. This number is expected to grow to 1 billion people by 2030. Biofortification is a cost-effective and sustainable way to improve the nutritional content of food crops, and it has the potential to reduce the burden of malnutrition in developing countries significantly. The most common biofortified crops are rice, maize, wheat, and beans. These crops have been bred to contain higher levels of essential micronutrients, such as iron, zinc, and vitamin A. Biofortified crops can be grown and consumed by people of all ages, and they can be used to make a variety of foods, such as bread, porridge, and soup. Many biofortification efforts focus on carotenoids. Carotenoids give flowers, fruits, and vegetables an orange color. They are also crucial for people. When we eat carotenoid-containing foods, our bodies convert the carotenoids into vitamin A. Vitamin A is vital for the health of our eyes and immune system. It is also needed for normal function of our heart, lungs, and kidneys. Many people around the world are vitamin A deficient. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, an estimated 250 million children under the age of 5 and 790 million preschool-age children and pregnant women are vitamin A deficient worldwide. Vitamin A deficiency is a major public health problem in developing countries, where it is estimated to cause 2 million deaths each year. A lack of vitamin A can be life-threatening because it is needed to fight infections. Vitamin A deficiency is also the leading cause of preventable childhood blindness. Biofortified crops, especially those grown in areas where vitamin A deficiency is high, have the potential to help. So a question may come to your mind: what are the various methods of carotenoid biofortification? For biofortification to work, it is important that researchers understand how plants make carotenoids. We know a lot about carotenoids, not just from crop research, but also from studying flower color. For example, from flowers we understand how plants make, store, and break down carotenoids. We also know about the genetics controlling these processes. Applying this knowledge leads to better crops. Biofortification is done using two methods. First is traditional breeding and another is genetic modification. Traditional breeding involves many generations of crossing plants together, then selecting offspring with the desired trait. Levels of the carotenoid beta-carotene were increased by traditional breeding in corn and cassava. Sometimes traditional breeding is not an option. For example, it has not worked to increase beta-carotene in rice, potatoes, or wheat. For traditional breeding to work, nutrient levels in the starting crop need to vary. Some crop plants are very hard to breed. Others may not start out with a specific nutrient. While in the case of transgenic technology and gene editing, molecular approaches are used for biofortification that complements traditional breeding. Transgenic techniques move a beneficial gene from one species to another. Gene editing rewrites an existing gene to change its function. The exact approach may be different, but the outcome of the genetic change usually fits one of the categories below. Combining strategies often result in the biggest impact, such as make more carotenoids, increasing carotenoid storage, and slow carotenoid breakdown. Transgenic technology can give plants new carotenoid building machinery. Other genetic changes increase the amount of carotenoid building machinery a plant already has. Some genes code for proteins that decrease the level of carotenoids made. Turning these genes off or down results in more carotenoids. Carotenoids accumulate in special organelles called chromoplasts. Genetic changes cause plants to make more or bigger chromoplasts. Genetic modifications increase compounds that stabilize carotenoids. They can also decrease the production of proteins that break down carotenoids. Whether made through traditional breeding or molecular approaches, each new crop needs to be carefully evaluated. It is important that biofortified crops work in the real world to improve nutrition. High levels of nutrients are important, but they need to be in a form the body can digest and absorb. It is also important to consider if farmers will grow the new variety, and if consumers will eat it. Now coming back to the topic of carotenoids. You will be surprised to find out that carotenoids are present in egg yolks. Egg yolks get their color from carotenoids. The color varies, depending on the type and amount of carotenoids in a hen's diet. A hen that eats carotenoid-rich carrots and tomatoes will lay eggs with dark orange yolks. Hens that get carotenoids from greens and yellow cornmeal lay eggs with yellow yolks. Egg yolks can even be nearly colorless if a hen has a diet low in carotenoids. Eggs are a good source of carotenoids for many people. There are lipids in egg yolks that make it easier for the body to absorb and use carotenoids, which are fat-soluble. Thank you for joining with me for the amazing journey of learning. In the future, we will again meet with other new, innovative topics. Meanwhile, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment.